Well, tonight's the night. 9 long years and... oh boy. 9 long years since the original Sin City was released. All I can say is, was the wait worth it? Will it be better than the original? Will it be just a good movie? A good sequel? Will it be fucking terrible? Or will it be mediocrely bland? All these things and more, I will definitely cover. Out of all the things that he had to make first, though, Spy Kids 4, really? Was that something that really needed to be made? Seriously, what the fuck? Anyway, we're not here to talk about shitty, cash-grabbed family flicks. We're here for Sin City, a dame to kill for. I'm about to tell you if it was all worth it in the end.
Well, was it? Wow. Cheesy voiceover crap aside. I still had a good time with the movie. Oh my god. Yeah. Unediting aside, I gotta say, this movie isn't crap, but 9 years was definitely too damn long. I would just say this. Mr. Rodriguez, you make a fucking amazing visual style. I'm a huge fan of your work, aside from the original right here that I very much enjoyed. I gotta say, man, if it would have just been made, hell, just 5 years later, it would have been just fine. But I think it's just because there are so many comic book, graphic novel movies made, it's gotten very saturated. And regardless of that, though, I very much enjoyed this movie for what it could bring to the screen, the same vision. It's a very nice companion piece. I'll say that right off the bat. It very much fits in the same universe. It's not like they tried to do a completely different style and make it completely different from the original. It's very much the same. The characters definitely look the same, the ones that did return. And I have no huge complaints, and I'll save that for the closer to the end of the review. But there are 3 stories yet again. We have Joseph Gordon-Levitt's story, who goes up against Boothe's character, who is the main villain for the entire film. He's just a cocky gambler, and his story was slowly revealed in the segments that he had. Then we have the Dame, who is very much interactive with just mainly the character of Dwight, played by Josh Brolin, and the Dame is played by Eva Green. And the third and final story is the character of Nancy Callahan and Hardigan, played by Bruce Willis, and then played by Jessica Alba. Her story of losing her fucking mentality over the fact that Bruce Willis just gave up and shot himself in the end. And I know that's a spoiler. I may spoil a couple other things. So if you've yet to see the original, why the fuck are you watching a review of the sequel? Just saying. Yeah, just the main things I found with this. It was cohesive enough. Mickey Rourke yet again brought his A game. He is Marv. He embodies that character so well. Bruce Willis was like acting for once a little bit. He had that noir setup again. The whole noir feel. All the characters brought their A game when it comes to the noir, over the top dialogue type feel to themselves. And fucking Jessica Alba, wow. Thanks for acting. You've been kind of just coasting lately, Jessica Alba. I don't know what's been going on there, but you did really good in this film. She did so well, and in terms of the psychological stuff, you can tell she felt very damaged. She was arguably the most emotionally weighted part of the film. You gave a shit about what was going on in her situation from the previous film. And Marv, he's just Marv. He's a badass. I was definitely happy to see him guns blazing. And the character of Dwight, it was a little bit, Josh Brolin replacing Clive Owen from the original film. So it's the same character, different actor. And then Boothe. That guy was an asshole, like just straight up killer, senator, evil, you know, just evil all the way around. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt is the main newcomer as well. He fucking brought his A game with this as well. He fits so well into this universe as the cocky, douchey gambler in a way. He's very lucky in the film, always wins and stuff, so that was kind of cool. Rosario Dawson also returns, fucking beautiful as ever. Call me. And a slew of other people that came back, and there was also other actors who had to get replaced. I forgot the Asian actress's name, but Jamie Chung plays the main Asian character, Miho, and Dennis Haysbert took over from Michael Clark Duncan, since he sadly passed away way too soon. Of the character Manud, I believe is the name. But either way, it dived right back into the world of Sin City. Very gritty, very dirty, very just visually arresting again in terms of all that stuff. The only downside is, considering this was called The Dame to Kill For, there was not a lot of the Dame. It mainly just in the center section of the film in that story. You know, usually they do interact with little bits and cameos in each other's stories, which most of the other characters did do that. But for some reason, Eva Green's character did not. Maybe there will be an unrated cut, which I really hope there will be, because I think she should have been spread out a little bit more throughout the film. She was mainly just in the middle section. But all that complaints aside, Eva Green's boobs. This is the shallow part of the show, people. If you want to see plenty of her cleavage and chest goodness, there's a lot of that, and she flaunts it very well. She pulls off the femme fatale look. I couldn't have seen anybody else in this role. That was true about the Angelina Jolie thing, but anyways, I prefer Eva Green over Angelina Jolie. I'll just say that right now. Overall, though, aside from that nitpick, and it's just very much hypnotic in a way. Some of the dialogue, and some of it's bad, some of it's over the top. But it's very much, if you did not like the original, you're going to hate this movie. And it's a little bit slower paced, and it's badass, but it's still very much more of a talking and kind of a slower paced film, closer to the center section as well. But I didn't mind it very much because I loved the visual style. I just adore this visual style. I love the noir stuff. I think it's pretty cool when it's done creatively like this. And Frank Miller and Robert Rodriguez did another great job. Everybody brought their A game when it comes to over-the-top stuff like this. There's no Oscar-worthy acting here, just a lot of good fun to be had. It's not as good as the original, unfortunately, but yeah, it would have been nice to have this sequel, to have had it a little bit earlier, but what can you do? But overall, it's a very solid enough film. If you're a fan of the original, I highly recommend checking it out. Not too sure about the 3D, so see that at your own risk. But if you're not a fan of the original, or you're overly weary about it, check it out in a matinee. Either way, it's pretty much worth to check out in the big screen. So that is my review of Sin City, A Dame to Kill For. Hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to comment below. And that should do it. So thanks again for watching. I'm Anthony Flores with Worth a Watch, and keep going to the movies.